of Xbox, Phil Spencer, says that the Series X will not be delayed by any individual game, and that surprisingly includes Halo Infinite. Is this a smart move for the platform, or is it one that could lead to some trouble? Let's talk about it. Hey there, it's Kibiji. Before we get started, don't forget to leave me your thoughts on this question. What do you think about the Series X not being delayed for Halo Infinite? You know, with the times going on, Halo Infinite, 343, they're having to work out of home. It could lead to a delay. And if 343 can't get Halo Infinite done in time for the Series X launch, which is on track, do you think it'd be a bad call to launch the Series X without Halo Infinite? Or do you think that the Series X should be delayed alongside with Infinite, just let me know what your combination of thoughts are and why. But where this whole thing started is from an interview on IGN's podcast Unlocked, which is a great podcast, by the way. Phil Spencer came onto that podcast to talk about the Series X, how COVID is affecting things, development of games, like all things Xbox. It's a really interesting podcast, and I highly recommend it. I'll leave it in the cards and description for you to check out. Seriously, it's a great listen. An interesting comment, though, came when Phil was asked about the Series X and it potentially getting delayed, not necessarily by the production, because Phil seemed confident in that, but more so, what about the software? What if your studios aren't able to finish things in time, including the biggie being Halo Infinite? And here's what he had to say. I do think that if everything was there for the software, the services, and the hardware, I don't think I would hold out for any individual game. Obviously, the one you think about is Halo. It's iconic with the launch. 343 Industries studio head Bonnie Ross and the team are doing a really good job on Halo Infinite right now. They're learning on the job just like we all are. I think we'll go in eyes wide open on what we're trying to get done, but I don't think we would hold the launch of the overall platform on any individual game. I think we would just have to be very transparent with people on where we are and how we're trending. Which that last statement especially, that's all Xbox has been doing lately. They have been insanely transparent on what their system is, what they're doing, what their thought process is. So yeah, I truly believe that as long as communication is happening in any relationship in life and you are being transparent about it, then yeah, you could really get people's trust and especially their understanding. In this case, Halo is the flagship, so I'm sure it leads to kind of back and forth scenarios here. Like, I could do an entire video about why Halo Infinite is the most important release Xbox might have ever had. In fact, I just might make a video about that, so make sure you subscribe. But this is a really respectful move to the development of Halo Infinite, to be honest, in 343, and putting the software that is going to be on this system before the system itself, which Phil addressed in that interview as well, saying, how important the software was, and he doesn't want to take any shortcuts with their team. And it's just a really respectful move because it allows 343 to not be as pressured to, get this out as quick as possible and on time. And it gives them more time to be sure that Halo Infinite is a very great product for the gaming marketplace that will bring people to the Xbox platform. And if the game was forced to launch with the Series X, just hypothetically, if they're behind, we don't know if there's a delay yet, but just hypothetically, working out of home and COVID and all that stuff, if it caused Halo Infinite to be a bit behind, it would suck for the game to, need to make shortcuts where Phil is expressing he doesn't want any of his studios to make shortcuts. He wants everybody to make the game that they're proud of. But it does pose a big risk if Halo Infinite gets, it doesn't come out the same time. It's not ready, I should say, in time for the Series X's launch. That's a big system seller to go with the Series X. You can't have a better launch title than Halo Infinite for the Series X. You just can't. The Xbox Series X, the flagship of the Xbox platform, is Master Chief, is Halo. And for this big spiritual reboot, as 343 calls it, and big release for the Series X to showcase what it can do, doesn't come out with the system, that's gonna look a little bit tough, for PS5 owners, say, or the PS5, buyers that are wanting that system. I don't consider any of them, willing to really jump ship that easily, but it's all the more convincing to them if, say, the PS5 comes out with Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever, just some big release at launch for the PS5, but then there isn't one for the Series X. People are gonna obviously choose a system that has the bigger game to go with it at launch. To this day, I think the two best launch titles for a console system ever is you know, still Halo 1. Halo 1 made the Xbox, you know, super ready to go. It was a great game to showcase the system and what it can do, and especially Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was the most recent entry that is a prime example of what Halo Infinite could be, where it was launched on the Wii U, the previous gen, and the current gen, the Nintendo Switch. And the game sold great. It made the Switch sell like hotcakes. It was a very great idea. All in all, I think it is a risky move. I admit it is a risky move to launch the Series X without Halo Infinite, to give Halo Infinite more time to develop. But you know, it just goes with the theme that Xbox has been doing lately, being confidence. If they were scared about the system not selling well, or if they were worried about their rival, you know, having a better launch game than they do, I think Phil would be much more, you know, desperate in this situation. He would say, you know, no, don't worry, 343 is still gonna release Halo Infinite, you can expect that. But he's just like, in this case, no, just hypothetically, if Infinite didn't make it in time, we'll delay Halo Infinite, but not the system. It shows that in the eyes of its incredibly fierce competitor, the PS5, Xbox Series X, they don't mind launching it without the flagship in order to make sure that flagship game makes the core Xbox fan base happy. They're doing their best to really make sure that the people that really have faith in Xbox, and they're giving people reason to have faith in Xbox, that they are making their next flagship entry to be an amazing one. And if they need to push that back rather than the Series X launch, I don't know, to me that just expels or expends, whatever the word is, just confidence. Now, Halo Infinite needs to be a success in order for that to happen, and there's a few things that need to happen in the game to make that happen. So I made a video about that, in which, you know, there's a few things I think could make Halo Infinite a big hit. And also, you know, want to know what your thoughts are about this whole thing. Leave me a comment on what you think would be the best move for Microsoft here and why. Leave me your key reasoning as to why. I just want to chat with you in the comments. So leave a comment about that. Check out that Halo video. And don't forget to be geek, be proud, be awesome, and subscribe and like. So, catch you later. Hey there, it's Kibiji. Hey there, it's Kibiji. And oh, you know what? I'm going to look at the light. I really think two of shows in the eyes of its incredibly... Whew.